There is a terrible situation going on right now in Colombia, and I'm not actually referring to the coronavirus. However, due to the circumstances of the coronavirus, killing human rights activists inside the country has never been easier. Because so many people are in self quarantine, there are next to no witnesses to many of the politically motivated killings that have been caused by the government. In other words, there's no one there to testify or to explain or to at least fire back. Now, because of this increase in violence, at least two indigenous leaders, one women's rights leader, were assassinated, and a gay rights defender actually survived an assassination attempt in Medellin, the country's second largest city. Now, since March 19th, the governor and mayors decreed a curfew. Everybody get in, stay off the street, social distancing, all that stuff, which is exceedingly more difficult to do in a third world country. Since then, 6 human rights defenders have been killed by unknown assailants. Now, in the first 3 months of this year, 24 human rights activists or social leaders were assassinated according to the Inter-American Commission for Human Rights. So it seems that this situation is proving to be more deadly for human rights activists in Colombia than for the regular everyday people that are trying to survive the virus. Now, President Ivan Duque was supposed to formalize policies to cut ties between the government and death squads, public and private, since he took office. But since 2016, since he came to office, that has not been done. It's not something that he's bothered to follow through on in his election promise. I know, a politician lying, imagine that. But think about this. This guy ran on a platform of saying, okay, we'll cut ties between death squads and the government. So you're kind of admitting that there's death squads that work for the government, or at least do the government's bidding. So not only has he not carried that out, the killings of social activists, I mean, we're talking about people that are like, please don't kill me for being a woman, are getting killed. Not like really not like they're really just communists, so we have to carry out war on them, FARC, etc. These are like actual, like regular human rights activists. There isn't even the veneer of the war between the government and the rebels. At the same time, the United States has now put a bounty of $15 million on the head of the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, claiming that he's a drug trafficker and a drug lord, and the biggest drug lord in the world. I mean, it's laughable. Specifically, they're referring to cocaine. The biggest trafficker of cocaine in the world is the CIA. And this has been exposed multiple times. The news stories about it very quickly and quietly go away. But they are there. The United States is so frustrated with its attempts to overthrow the Venezuelan government that they're now just saying, okay, here's a bounty, kill them. So while they have this completely baseless accusation of being a drug lord on Nicolas Maduro and offering a bounty for his head, you've got Colombia over here mass murdering human rights activists, and the United States has nothing to say. The president has even admitted that the government uses death squads to target such people and ran on a platform of promising to stop doing it. But the U.S. has nothing to say. Very clear human rights abuses here in Latin America, South America, whatever you want to call it. Nobody says a thing. Complete and utter hypocrisy. Why? Because Venezuela stands against the U.S. empire, and the U.S. empire having control over its country, while the Colombian government has nothing but a perfect client of the United States, which is the main reason why there was an insurrection by communist rebels to begin with. Because of the lack of freedom in the country, because of the amount of oppression, because of its position within the global economic order as a victim of imperialism. So maybe that little point needs to be put, into the proper context the next time the United States government tries to wail and scream about the so-called crimes of Venezuela. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.